Every single day, no matter the weather, this dog returned to the exact same storm drain. Morning, afternoon, even at night, he wouldn't leave. At first, people thought he was simply waiting for food. But then, they noticed something strange. The dog wasn't begging. He was watching something deep inside the drain. And what rescuers eventually discovered down there shocked everyone. The stray dog first appeared in a small neighborhood after a heavy storm. Nobody knew where he came from. He had no collar, no owner, and no place to sleep. But instead of wandering like most strays, he stayed beside one storm drain for hours at a time. Sometimes he barked into it, sometimes he cried softly, and sometimes he simply stared into the darkness without moving. People began calling him Guard because it looked like he was protecting something. A few people tried looking inside, but the drain was deep, too deep to see clearly, and every time someone got close, the dog became nervous, not aggressive, just desperate, as if he was trying to tell them something. But nobody understood what. Until one rainy afternoon, everything changed. That day, a woman walking home heard something unusual. At first, she thought it was the wind, but then she heard it again, a tiny cry, coming from beneath the street. The dog immediately ran to the drain and barked frantically. That's when people realized the dog wasn't guarding the drain. He was begging for help. Neighbors quickly called rescuers, and within minutes, a small crowd had gathered around the storm drain. The dog paced back and forth anxiously, whining, crying, watching every movement rescuers made. It was almost as if he knew time was running out. When rescuers finally lifted the storm drain cover, the smell hit them first, then the sound. Tiny cries echoing from deep below. And suddenly, everyone froze, because staring back at them from the darkness were several terrified puppies. There were 6 puppies trapped inside the drain, cold, hungry, and barely surviving. Nobody knew how long they'd been down there. The recent storm had flooded part of the tunnel, and the puppies had no way out. But somehow, their father had stayed nearby every single day, waiting, watching, hoping someone would finally notice. One by one, rescuers carefully lifted the puppies to safety. The crowd watched silently. Some people were crying, others couldn't believe what they were seeing. And through it all, the dog never took his eyes off the rescuers. He watched every puppy come out, counting them, waiting, making sure every single one survived. And then came the moment nobody there would ever forget. As the final puppy was placed safely on the ground, the dog slowly approached them, carefully, nervously, and one by one. He checked every puppy, as if confirming they were alive, safe, together again. That's when the crowd realized something heartbreaking. This wasn't just any stray dog. He was their father. Rescuers believe the puppies were born inside the drain shortly before the storm. When floodwater suddenly rushed through the tunnels, the mother dog disappeared, but the father stayed, day after day, refusing to abandon the puppies, unable to rescue them himself, yet unwilling to leave them alone. And for days, he tried to get humans to notice. The story spread quickly through the neighborhood. People who once ignored the stray dog now saw him differently, not as a nuisance, not as just another street animal, but as a father, a protector, a living reminder that love and loyalty don't belong only to humans. Thankfully, all 6 puppies survived, and after weeks of care, the little family finally found safety. But the image people never forgot was that lonely dog staring into the storm drain day after day, waiting for someone to listen. Because sometimes animals are speaking to us all the time, just not with words. That dog could have walked away. Nobody would have blamed him. But he stayed, through hunger, through rain, through fear, because love doesn't need language. And sometimes, the purest hearts walk on four legs. If this story touched your heart, take a second to like the video and subscribe for more incredible dog facts and moments. And remember, sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they bark.